The Ontario Line is going to be the biggest Toronto transit construction project for the rest of this decade. Pape Avenue Jr. Public School behind me, it's going to be beside where a huge new tunnel will start. Community members we've spoken with say they're still waiting to find out how children are going to be protected during construction. For Daniel Miller, safety has been front of mind lately.
Right now, there's literally trucks backing up next to children who are playing on the playground.
He's one of many parents at the school who are worried about what digging will mean for their community.
At this very minute, right behind me, there's people working, building netting around the school, which is a construction site.
Miller is on the parent council. He says a subcommittee has met several times with Metrolinx since they're overseeing the project, but
they say a lot of things, but they don't offer a lot of actual answers. And there's not a lot of follow-through with the answers they do give us. It's often very vague.
He says they've asked for detailed information for 6 months and details still haven't come. That frustration seemingly boiling over during a recent community meeting.
There is no construction committee that has been set up. There has been no health and safety plans presented. There's been no traffic plans presented. So it does feel like work is happening before planning has happened with the community.
Sarah Earnhardt was elected as the TDSB trustee in this area a couple months ago. She says the reaction is understandable.
If systems aren't in place for everyone to know what's happening, when it's happening, how it's going to happen, and how we mitigate risks to health and safety, particularly for children, that's going to turn the temperature up.
Councillor Paula Fletcher was at that public meeting.
Boy, the parents were so frustrated.
She says a Toronto sewer will need to be moved soon as part of the early works. She and Toronto Council recently called for a construction liaison committee to be set up and for city and provincial staff to respond to parents' concerns.
It's a 110-year-old school, so if I had a child there, I'd be a little worried that the walls might come tumbling down. So they need to really understand what's happening. What are the risks? How are they being mitigated?
Metrolinx representatives declined an on-camera interview, but said in a statement, a committee that meets bi-weekly is in the works for next year, along with various other protective measures, such as sound barriers. Meanwhile, Miller and others say they support building transit, but they just want to be given detailed information and plans as soon as possible.
Community really deserves accountability and transparency from Metrolinx. And, you know, especially in light of what's happening on the Eglinton line, to get into the Ontario line, we really need them to up their game.
For more on the Ontario Line project and what's happening here, head to citynews.ca. In Toronto, Nick Westoll, City News.